Hello everybody, welcome back to Space Pickle Designs. Today I have a finished objects video and a quick tutorial for you using what I used out of the Softflex design kit this month for Turtle Love. So if you'd like to see that, then just keep on watching. So first off, this is what I have left so far. I have quite a few items, and if you'll notice, some of these items, like some of these cobalt beads, some of the purple beads, and these purple rhinestone spacers as well. I think these are from the last box as well, but they were the leftovers from the rainy day kit and they actually went perfectly with the color palette, so I combined them. So some of the beads are not exclusive to this palette, it's just a combination. But that's the best part of these boxes. You can just use whatever you want to add to what they give you every month. So let me set this off to the side. The first thing I made just to get started were these super cute pair of earrings. I really loved that acrylic starfish and I thought the drops were really nice too, and I just put like a bead cone on top of those drops and I really love those. Next up, I did a purple themed bracelet with dangles, and this is so cute, and it's also got a magnetic clasp with a notch in it. So it's a sturdier magnetic clasp than just the plain ones, and so you really have to actually put your fingernail in the notch to get it off. But I used some of those drops and I used some bead soup to kind of round out this bracelet. So this bead, it actually mirrored kind of one of the beads that came in the box, just a different color. So I pulled that out of my stash and I used this really cool like clear purple mix to make the drops, and so it looks really nice on. There's just so many textures going on with this guy and I love her. Next was a really simple stretch bracelet. I used some brass spacers from my stash as well as a brass bead here, and I use these beads on stretch bracelets to hide the knot because I like using the thickest stretch magic that I can do just for stability. And so what I did is I have this box of metals, and this is just my mixed metal extras box, and I had some of these like patina brass starfish and also like patina brass seahorse, but I picked out one of the starfish and I used it in this bracelet. This is just a super simple cute little bracelet. Next up is another one of those magnetic clasp bracelets with charms, and this one is just an explosion of color. The whole idea behind this one was the use of this bead here. Of course I used other beads from the box, but what I did was took some of the colors throughout this bead and amplified it with some bead soup. So I have a fire polish here, I have a leftover crystal from another one of my Softflex kits, and then you'll probably recognize some other beads here. This was this lemonade bead, this like pink lemonade bead is also from a Softflex kit. I added one of the seahorse charms. This is one of those loud crystals from this month's bargain bead box, and I used a really large jump ring here, and it's really sturdy, and so those colors are just really juicy, and again it has that magnetic clasp with the notch, and so I really like that one. I think it turned out really nice. So these next two, I want to show them together because they will be sold separately, but they can be put together. So again, these are like 7-inch bracelets. That's kind of the typical size that I make when I make a bracelet. And the one that you're seeing here is, again, just like those other bracelets, but with different beads. And as you can see here, I used a really cool shell actually, and that one's from Sam's bead box, and that's really high quality shell bead right there, and you can just see that shine from it. I used a couple beads from the Bee Jelly collection from Jesse James Beads this month, and of course I had to put in that cute little turtle here and just some beads from my bead soup. And so I think it just looks really nice when not everything is so planned out. And that just comes with time. When you build up your stash, you'll have onesies, twosies, and you'll be able to pull out some really nice beads to add to your bracelets. And so this one, it doesn't have any sort of dangles on it. This one's a more subtle, you know, for the everyday working girl, you know what I'm saying? And so this bead right here is really amazing, this little turtle shell bead. And so what you can actually do with this one is you can take both of them and you can put them together because they are magnetic. And since the clasp is appealing, let me zoom out just a little, you can actually make a choker necklace, a really cute choker necklace with a focal in the front. And now this works for me because I have sort of a small neck, so like a 14.5-inch necklace will work for me. It might not work for everybody, but it's just an idea. So these two, this is just a design idea that you can hook two bracelets together, and you can even do those when they have lobster claw clasp. There's no, you know, there's no rules with this kind of thing. So I just thought I'd show you that. All right, so I showed you those finished projects. Those are actually already up on my Etsy site, and I did want to say that I know most of you are jewelry makers, and if you've been around the bead world on YouTube or in general, you are familiar with soft flex. And so the items that I've made and that are on my Etsy shop right now for the month of June, all proceeds will be going to be donated to Sarah Ayler's GoFundMe page. If you're not aware of what's going on in the life of Sarah Ayler and the Ayler family, I will link the pages down below, but essentially her family is experiencing a hardship. Her husband has a glioblastoma, and she had just had to move him into hospice. So they're experiencing a difficult time right now, and I'm just trying to raise a little bit of money to, you know, help out wherever we can. So for all regular purchases throughout the month of June, excluding the rainbow items in the shop, those will be donated to that GoFundMe page. Again, check out those links down in my description box. So since June is Pride Month, I have an array of rainbow items in the shop as well. So if you purchase a rainbow item in the shop, the proceeds from those items will be donated to the Trevor Project. And so if you haven't heard of the Trevor Project, I will link it down below. But basically, it's a resource for at-risk LGBTQ plus youth. So it's basically a anti-suicide resource, and so they've helped so many young people get the support that they need to be able to thrive and be their authentic selves. So if you'd like to support any of those initiatives that I'm doing this month, please go ahead and check out that Etsy shop. Again, you're helping a really great cause as well as getting really cool pieces of jewelry and bead supplies. So for the rest of this video, I thought we would make one of these really cool bracelets together. It's going to follow the same concept. Obviously, it's not going to look exactly the same, but I did have another one of these beads from the Turtle Love Kit, and since this one was in a predominantly gold design, I thought I would make one in silver because a lot of people have strong opinions on either or. And so what I've done is I've taken some components already and I've made them into so I made these drops into a single component. I have put a bead cap on this long bead here, as well as this orange crystal. We've done that. This is going to be the clasp. It's going to be a cute little flower. I have a shell here. I think I want to use him. I'm going to zoom you in just so you can see a little bit more what's on my work table. So I definitely know we're going to use these components right here, so that's fine. This is kind of almost the focal. I do have this, if we want to go the route of mixed metals, which, you know, I don't see why not. I do have this really cool dangle that we could use. I have some of these blue baby rhinestone spacers, and I believe that was from the rainy day box because I think in this month they came with the crystal AB one, as you see right there. And so we have quite a few little components. I haven't decided if I want to use this beautiful shell. I think a lot of times when I get these boxes, I don't use the components right away, like the tiara cast and like the focals, and it's just because it's like, I think you know how it is. It's like being the life of a bead hoarder, you know. I don't know. I'll put it off to the side. I do think we can still use this guy probably in a dangle, just because it does mirror the color throughout. And I have this really beautiful fire polish bead here, but what I'm gonna have to do with this is probably stack him. So what I'm gonna do is just find probably a clear bead to stack him with, and this is my crystal bead mix. And so let's go ahead and get this guy done. Let's get my silver German style wire, and so let me make a flush cut on that. And you know what? I could do a bead cap. Like if we wanted to go extra, we can just go extra. So a bead cap, a rondelle, a crystal here, and then another bead cap. Do we like that? I think we like that. I like it. So let me get this. We're just gonna do a simple loop here. Do another simple loop. I know it seems like, you know, these linked bracelets and necklaces, I just love the look because first of all, technically it's not challenging. It gives you a lot of practices with your simple loops, which I feel like is more difficult than a wrap loop. It gives you that handmade feel, and it's just not that difficult. So I think I'll keep this bubble bead organic, so to speak. We will just make a simple loop for this guy. Right. And I just try to make sure that the loops are facing the same way. And it really doesn't matter because you can straighten that up after the fact if it's, you know, more, if it's easier for you to do it afterwards. And so like this one's a little bit crooked. You just take 2 pliers and kind of straighten it out. So we got that one. I think I want to use, this is another like bead from the Jesse James bead collection. The bead jelly, and I just really liked that collection. It really spoke to me. It's like kind of reminds me of my childhood, but I'll put that up there. Another simple loop. While we're doing this, I guess I'll talk to you a little bit more about the fundraiser. So the fundraiser, if you're checking the shop and things are sold out, I did just sell out of the bead boxes that I make, so I am going to definitely go, you know, go ahead and try to restock some of those, create some new ones, because the donations will apply to those as well. And yeah, so if you're seeing the shop and it's out of stock, then just keep checking back because I will be adding things throughout the month of June. And if we have a good momentum, I may also donate the proceeds from July as well to Sarah. And that's just because I am in the position to do so. As most of you know, making jewelry is not my day job, right? It's a hobby. And so I am fortunate enough to have a day job that pays my bills. So I know I'm in a bit of a privileged position when it comes to that, but I recognize that and know that I want to pass that on. So that's kind of why I'm doing it. So let's take this crackle bead, this little spacer, and I think I want to find one more small bead. I kind of like this one. This one's like a little crystal with greens and browns. And I think we'll be good with length. And then we can kind of start on the dangles. Which we know are the best part. So this definitely has a lot of good stuff in it. Let's check the length here. We'll start putting things together. We do want to reserve room for the jump ring here. And so I normally connect a jump ring to one of the bigger focals and a smaller bead on the other side. And so obviously this is going to be our focal bead here, and then I'll just put the bow bead on the other side. And right now we're just building the structure of the bracelet. So let's see. I like to spread out the short ones with the long, and so short, then we have long, and we'll do short on the side. Let me see. I like that. I think I want to switch that order up because I like that orange next to the focal right there. So let's just start building. And again, this is gonna look, you know, completely different, even though we've used similar things. Because we are using bead soup, and I love being able to have bead soup because it just adds a lot to your projects, kind of when you don't know the direction you want to go. And I also believe it gives it more of a handmade feel. I think sometimes when things are just too perfect and, you know, you're using the exact you know, same beads and all that stuff, sometimes it can come off as manufactured, and for some people that's exactly what they want, right? And that's totally fine, you know. But for me, I kind of like the idea of it looking handmade and a little different and funky, something unique. And you know, there's like the basically the value in the maker's mark. So maker's mark being that, hey, like, you can tell that it was made by somebody because of the marks that it leaves behind. So let's just go ahead and look at what this looks like on the wrist. And it's going to be about a perfect length, as you can see right here. So let's go ahead and add the clasp. I really nailed that. I don't know how I did that. I never am I becoming seasoned? Wow, look at me. Look at me. It's finally happening, y'all. Just kidding. I will always have things to learn. That's the best part about this hobby. You've never finished with it, you know? So, okay. So, what I'm gonna do is just test this. And since this is a magnetic clasp, this is probably actually gonna be too big. I might have to remove one. Well, we'll see. So I'm gonna reserve judgment until I actually put the dangles on, because a lot of times dangles will take up some space. And so it looks like we're gonna need a little bit more bead soup, so let me go ahead and get that. All right, so look what we have. As you can see, there's some more of those purple beads as you saw in one of the other bracelets, but let's look at what we have in this bracelet so far and what other colors we want to pull out. Definitely, if we have some greens, we've got a little star charm there, I think is really cool. There's not a lot of yellow. We'll pull that out just in case. We'll pull out these little yellows. I'm looking for maybe some reds. Here's just a little, I don't like that, the quality of that one. Put this throughout. And so, yeah, this is the fun part. Mermaid bead, always welcome. Let's see. What you do initially, or what I do, I should clarify, is I just kind of pull out all the beads in my immediate purview here that match the color palette that I'm going to go with. And love that orange bead. Get this red bead here. And I like to try to go with different shapes. It's kind of the best part. But nothing too big to where it's kind of inconvenient on a dangle. Again, you want to pull out some small ones, some large ones. Little butterfly, that's cute. That's gold. Let's look in our charms. Anything silver. Kind of like that little turtle. We have to use it because it's a turtle love box. Okay, so I think I'll keep it at that. If we need more, again, we can adjust. But look, this is going to be perfect because we can add so much color, again, throughout this box. And when I'm looking at this bracelet, I'm looking like, hey, there's a lot of color throughout the front part, but not so much in the back. And so I may remove this component. And since we need kind of a shorter component anyway, I think I'm going to replace it with a yellow bead. So let me go ahead and make a component out of a yellow bead here. I got some bead caps. And just for funsies, right? Might be a little too big. I think this will work. And so let's just do this pop of yellow because when I saw her, I was like, she needs to be on the bracelet. And we need to shorten up the length just a little bit anyway. So I think taking out those drops will be the right move. Again, the texture with the bead caps is going to be really nice. Right. So let's go ahead and deconstruct. All right, so that has shortened it up a little bit and also brought some color throughout the back of the bracelet, and if I need to, I will replace this bead right here. I think actually that one's probably fine. I may replace this stack with something a little more vibrant, but we'll get there. So let's see how it looks with all the dangles. This little turtle is going to be just fine as he is. Again, let me see. I'm going to put a jump ring on him just so he can dangle a little more, because I do want that bead on there. I think I'm going to keep my tiara cast. I just can't bear to part with her just yet. And oh my gosh, are you seeing this head pin? This is how my life is going right now. That's crazy. Okay, let me move the gold head pins out of the way. We don't need those. Let's go ahead and figure out what to do with this guy. And I think we can stack. So this will be a little monochromatic moment. We've got our first, second, third dangle here. Let's go ahead and, this is a 6mm jump ring, just for length. Okay, get some more of these head pins out. Definitely want the green to be involved here. Oh. Let's do another kind of in the same theme, kind of like monochromatic. I just love green. Green is so cool. All right, let's make some smaller ones. Maybe yellow here. Let's do, that's okay. Our mermaid bead. There's no rhyme or reason. This is just relaxing and having fun. If I was not doing a video, I would be in my adult beanbag chair. I think we should incorporate this red bead here. And do we have a small bead? I do have a small bead. I don't know if it's gonna fit. It's kind of a mustard and ketchup moment, but we'll see. We'll see. This one might not make the cut. I know what I want to do with this guy here. I love blue and red, especially if it's like a turquoise. So let's make the turquoise happen. Three, 4. We've got to have a couple more here. I like this one. As you can see, there's no design genius when it comes to this. You're just pulling out colors that you have seen throughout your piece, and that's what you're using. A little baby crystal. I don't like to use just one bead. Don't know why. I do like a double bead on the drops. All right, let's mix these colors up a little bit. We gotta bring some red over here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Do we want to use pearl? Nope, I don't. I think we should just make one more here, maybe two. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one more. We gotta make it good. We have to make it good. Are we gonna use this obnoxious tangerine? I think so. I think so, because we are still going through those tangerine beads. Okay. I think we are getting there. I think we're almost done. And of course, that simple loop didn't go really to plan, but hey. That's a crystal, that's a bead, that's a metal. Okay. And so what we want to do here, we're going to take this. Obviously, we're going to take the big jump ring here. And we are going to put 5 dangles on one side. Kind of want to switch that up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we hook the other side of our bracelet on. And then we are good to put our 5 other ones on. And the tricky part is getting it shut. And oh my gosh, y'all, I was made for TV because that went extremely well. So let's clear all this stuff up and we'll look at our bracelet. All right, y'all, so off camera, I made a little bit of an executive decision and I replaced this component here, which was a beautiful component in and of itself. However, I just don't think it fit with this theme here. So I'm gonna put her off to the side and I replaced her with this large coin bead here. And it was perfect. Let's see if I can get this on. So here she is. Look at this beautiful little charm burst bracelet here. And it's got a magnetic clasp. And I may end up fooling around with this one a little more before I list her, because I do want her to be closer to a 7 rather than a 7 1/4, which is what this one is measuring at right now. But this is basically the technique. And so yeah, if you feel so inclined, please do check out the Etsy shop. And if you're all good on jewelry, just another way to support would be to share the link on your social medias, because you know there may be some people out there that don't know how to make jewelry and they just want to buy something nice for one of their friends. So anyway, I hope to hear from you in the comments. I want to know how you're doing, and I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.